this is Yo Sensei. In today's tutorial, you will learn the workflow of creating rendered images using Rhino and Twinmotion. It goes like preparing Rhino file, exporting the file as FBX, basic navigation in Twinmotion, applying material, construct context, and exporting as image. Okay, let's get started. So the first thing that you want to do is open this file in Rhino, the file that you can find from the description section below. And we have this file. So this file has a canopy with this kind of floor piece, and it's got some glass type of element, foundation, some chairs and people. So first thing that you need to do is to really organize this file into layers with material. So Rhino's layer system works in a way so that this is a layer name, this checkbox is current layer, this is layer on, off, and lock. And then this one, the square is display color. So if you click on it and change the color, it will change the color in on the shaded mode. And then next part is very important. This part is material. So this is how you set. Now, oops, change it to metal, and then change the color of this layer to red. Then when you actually show this on the rendered view, this layer is going to have this material. So this is a good way to organize your materiality in the file that you use between Rhino and Twinmotion. So so we can just go ahead and just set up all of these layers manually. But the easier thing to do is there is a template for a material. So you can just import that file. So in Rhino, type import and go into this material template also is going to be distributed on the YouTube link. So just get it from that folder. So when we import this material folder, material file, this one is going to give you all kinds of layers with preset materials assigned already to the layer. So all you need to do is select these objects, and then this one is going to be concrete on the ground. So you can change it to object layer to be concrete. And this purple one, you can go find something like metal aluminum. And this one can be metal black frame. And then this one can be glass. And we can just play with some of the different ones, like plastic gray shiny for this one, and then plastic gray matte. So you can like really try different types of tile. And what it does is that it's actually really not doing anything because we are going to apply materials inside of Twinmotion. So selecting objects, right-clicking on the layer, and then change object layer. Change object layer. So in this case, people that we have here, we are not using. We are using Twinmotion's people. So you can just go into the layer and then turn it off. Okay, and so that's first part. You import the file, you import the materials template, and then apply objects into it. One thing that you need to be careful is your object should have thickness, and if it doesn't, then it's going to give you some issues. So be careful about that. So the next thing I do is select this. And then I guess I don't need bounding box, so I'm just going to hide this layer. select everything, and then go to File, Export Selected. And so you can just save this file somewhere. So the file format that you are saving is motionbuilder.fbx. So fbx file. And then FBX is a mesh file format, and so it's going to be like this, and then just say okay. And then depending on how detailed your model is, this is, how this is going to be converted into mesh. So this one is a relatively simple one. So I'm gonna try to reduce the number of mesh so that the file size is going to be lighter. So yeah, I think that's pretty good. So say okay. Okay, so that concludes the Rhino part. Okay, once you have exported FBX, let's go ahead and open Twinmotion. So you can run Twinmotion from Epic Games Launcher or Twinmotion's icon by itself. Now I am running a Twinmotion 2.preview 2. This is the latest version at this point. And starting in this version, they have added this new rendering system called Lumen, which is very incredible. So first thing that you're going to do is to just close this home window, and then this is a new Twinmotion screen. So the way you move around in Twinmotion is that it's WASD. So if you read it here, W moves forward, S goes backwards, A goes to right side, and D goes to the right side. So A goes to left side and D goes to right side. If you want to go up and down, it's Q key is going to let you go up, and then E is going to go down. And then if you drag your right mouse, that will let you look around and then move around. And then, if you're familiar with, first-person shooting gaming, that's how you move around. And also, you are able to change your speed by pressing 1 to 6 key, 6 being the fastest and 1 being the slowest. Okay, and then depending on what you're doing and how far you are from the object, you can use different ways. Okay. So that's navigation. So please get used to it, and then if you get familiar with this, the more it will be easier for you to kind of manipulate things in this program. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is to import our file. So you can click on import and then click on the plus mark. And then you can open your file, and then I'm going to the Canopy Finish FBX file. The setting here is keep hierarchy, and up axis should be auto. Okay, so that is that. So now we have imported this model and all individual object here. And then, but you can find objects that are within this material-based groups. So you can select material group and apply materials. So I'm going to close this one. And then first, let's go ahead and then apply some materials. So you can click on the material and then find something like metal, and then drag and drop the brushed aluminum into this area. You can now also go to something like concrete and then drag and drop concrete here. One issue with this is that, material is a little bit stretched here, and then that's because it is trying to read the UV of the existing object. So what you need to do is change, right here on top part, there is different UVs that you can choose. So you need to change it to cubic UVs. That will mostly work for the most of the time. And then drag and drop the material again. So that's how it's going to work. And then you can also try some different materials like wood to here, and try something like brick or something. And in this case, maybe some kind of wood would be nice. Or this piece, very nice. And then you can just apply different types of material, stone, for this. And then I'm going to apply this material to this one. So what happened was that for some reasons my chair here and then my canopy had the same material. So if I apply one material to this one, it changes also the material of this one. So if that happens, what you can do is I'm going to go back to metal and then apply aluminum to this one. And then at this point, there are different ways in which you can apply materials. The first one is replace material. So this one is just replace whatever the material that it has. So it's mostly grouped. And then if you choose this one, apply to object, then you are able to, apply material to individual object, which is useful. So, if you kind of organize the layers in Rhino, and then if you get like, sometimes you make mistakes, and then you can just change it inside of Twinmotion. Okay, so that is that. And then sometimes, you can just be looking around and then like lose your model sometimes because, it can kind of like put the object into some weird location. So if that happens, you can always find your object from on the right hand outliner and then press F key on your keyboard. And that way you can find your model when it's missing. Okay. And another thing that you want to do is to go into preferences and then go to edit and then preferences. And then inside of it, there are a lot of things that you can do. But one thing that I want you to change is to change the quality of it. And then, in this case, I'm running very fast computer, so everything is running at the ultra. But, if you want to change it to like, it depends on like how, powerful your computer is. Okay. So that is that. Okay. So, and then we have applied materials and then, done this. So next part, we would like to import the landscape. So for today, we are just going to import existing landscape. So as FBX, so you can click on import and then open and then AC site FBX and then do the same thing. So we have imported this site model that has, the art center building and the bridge around it. So in this case, what's happening is that this Twinmotion's default landscape is covering a lot of it. So you can like click on it and then drag it down so that this plane sits below our imported landscape. Okay. So that is that. Also, Twinmotion by default, it gives you this kind of object, which is starting base, which you can hide to go get this away from you. So now we have a nice kind of like situational type of condition. And then you can select the whole entire canopy part and then like start like thinking about like different orientation and things like that. Okay. So now we are going to apply materiality to the landscape. So you can go into materials and then I will change materials and then ground and then man-made and then not man-made but nature and find like relatively nice grass. But right now it is applying material to individual objects, so change it back to replace material. So if you do it this way, then it will change the entire material that are in the same group. So now for the roads, you can go back to ground and then go to man-made and then use asphalt 1 for the road and asphalt 5 for the sidewalk, kind of showing the contrast. And then on this one, you can just go to some kind of material and then metal and then find galvanized steel, but make it really black. So, that's our black building. Okay, so at this point, it's quite nice. And so now we can do stuff like putting people in it. So you can go into library and then find characters. And then there are animated humans and then groups and post humans. Animated humans look scary and weird. So never use it. It's just weird, right? So she just looks like this weird like video gamey person, so it just looks weird, so don't use animated figure. Instead, what I think you should use is that post humans, and post humans are relatively nice, So these are people who are kind of natural and then, very nice and, pretty cool. So you can just put in like these people into your model. And yeah, so you can play with placing people. So that's placing people. And another thing that I think we can do is to put some trees around. And then you can go into library and then go to vegetation and then trees. And then you can drag and drop a bunch of trees, in this area. And, I think that would be quite nice. But the easier way to do it is to go into this area at the bottom called populate. And then you can then go into right side foliage and then paint. And then at this point, what you can do is to drag and drop trees from left side column into this box. Okay. And then use this paint. You can click on this paint to draw. So if I'm just drawing these trees in this area. And then maybe like, outside region. And then maybe in the mountains. And then you can change diameter and then you can kind of like paint it like this. Oops. So when you make a mistake and then draw it in a place that is not appropriate, you can click on eraser and then adjust the diameter and then just erase on the part that you don't want the trees. Okay, and then, so in this area, I erase the tree. Okay, so that should be nice. That looks pretty good. And, and then you can do the similar things like, populate and then foliage and then do like, grass. And then you can like, draw some grass area as well. So you can do a lot of stuff with this kind of tutorial. So I'm not going to, this is the very first tutorial, so I'm not going to go super detailed, but this you can try with it. So now we have, a nice foliage and then people and then canopy here. I would like to get the more dramatic shadow in this area on the ambience. And then time of the day, you can change to, change the shadow direction. So I would like to see a dramatic shadow of the canopy in this area. That would be nice. And then if you change the weather a little bit, with the cloud, I think it's going to give more kind of, detail around the area. So that would be nice. So yeah, so choose your composition, and so this is quite nice. And then now what you want to do is go into media, and then you're in the first image mode. So click plus, and then this image is added. Okay, so that's nice. But for example, if you want to do something to update something inside of Rhino, and then go back to Twinmotion, it's very easy to do it. So for example, I would like to create this kind of like bench seat in this area. So I would like to just make this one a little bit bigger. Scale to the scale to just scale this one up so that it becomes more like a seating type of condition. Okay. And then all you need to do is to select everything, file and export selected. And then motion builder. And then save at the exact same location and exact same name. So if you save and then replace this file, and then you can go back to Rhino and then go back to import and then canopy finish file, and then you can click on it. Click on the refresh button. So Rhino has updated, and then now we have this kind of seating area, here. That's quite nice. It did move the location of the model, so we are going to have to, adjust it. So I think it was supposed to be here, and then she can sit here, and then she can sit here. Okay. Now you're gonna go back to media mode, click on this image. Looks good. I can change the view slightly, and then you can click on this recycle mark to refresh mark to update the image. Finally, what you need to do is go to export and then click find the image, click this one on, and then start export. And then you can select a folder to save this. So let's do it. Since so now we are in this part, and then we can just take a look at the folder and see the image. So the image that was just produced was this. So it's a quite nice image. Twinmotion 3 preview version community edition is going to give you this kind of watermark, which is not too horrible. But if you're annoyed by that, then you can do something to get rid of it. So that would be the tutorial. The very first tutorial of taking Rhino model and exporting to FBX and then importing it into Twinmotion. I hope this was very helpful, and if you like this video, please watch my other videos as well. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.